The Physics of Safety by Colonel Alan M. Morris. Every accident in the known universe is caused by something that is called a hazard. Sometimes the hazard is known and for whatever the reason, the hazard is ignored. Other times the hazard is not known until after the accident. Sometimes the accident results with an injury. Or, worse, death. It is the conjecture of the author that in all things there is good. Sometimes the hazard is not known until the accident happens and then the hazard is discovered. Then the hazard is known, and something can be done about it. A great many hazards are the topics that are uncovered in basic physics classes, and that's just what our lesson is about today. Hazards can be stored potential energy. A weight falls on someone. Kinetic energy. A moving weight hits someone. Thermal energy. Someone gets burned. Radiation. Someone gets burned by X-rays or ultraviolet light. Sharp edges. Someone gets cut. Sudden stops. Car wrecks and falls. Loud noise. Hearing damage. Slick floors. Someone falls. Poisonous gases. Lung damage happens. Faulty equipment. Injuries or death. Knowingly doing the wrong thing. Injuries or death. So, you know about a hazard. You know about something that could hurt you or another person. But, what do you do about it? A standard way of dealing with hazards is to apply the 4 E's of safety. The first E of safety is to eliminate the hazard, if you can. The second E of safety is to engineer a way for the hazard to be mitigated or made safer. The third E of safety is to educate others about the hazard that can't be eliminated or made safer by engineering a guard or other safety device. And the fourth E of safety is to eliminate the person who refuses to be educated about the hazard. This might sound harsh, but the person who refuses to practice safety often injures himself or herself or worse. Other people get injured because of the lack of a safety attitude by the person who refuses to practice good safety guidelines. Now that you have an idea of what a hazard is and the priority of dealing with the hazards, let's take a look at a few examples. Let's say that there is a hole in the floor. It's clearly a hazard, since it is obvious that someone could step into the hole, fall, break something, or worse, die. Applying the first E of safety, elimination, we ask ourselves, can we simply just fill in the hole so that it is no longer a hole? If we can simply eliminate the hazard, then it no longer exists. And no one can get hurt. It's as simple as that. But let's say that there is a very good reason that the hole in the floor can't just be eliminated. It can't be filled in. It must remain a hole in the floor. Then we engineer a way to make the hazard safer. We engineer a cover plate for the hole. Or we engineer guardrails, so that no one will accidentally step off into the hole. We can't eliminate the hole, but we can engineer a way to make the hazard safer. It's as simple as that. Okay, we are still dealing with the hole in the floor. It can't be eliminated. And for some reason, we can't put up guardrails or engineer a cover plate. The hole in the floor has to remain a hole in the floor. So, we move to the third E of safety. We educate the people who have to be around the hole. It's as simple as that. Now, we move to the fourth E of safety. We come full circle and we are back to elimination. It's sort of like the first E of safety, only different. This is the elimination of the person who refuses to be educated about the hazard. These people are very costly to themselves and to others. If you ever happen to work for someone who does not care about your safety, it's time to find another job. Because when you get hurt on the job, you are still hurt when you go home. Some injuries never heal. This is why it is a really good idea to be aware of what can hurt you or others. And for you to know what you can do to lessen the likelihood that you will have an accident or hurt someone else. It's just that simple. Personal protective equipment. Accidents are going to happen. No matter how hard you try to practice the 4 E's of safety. What you want to do, is to make sure that when the accident happens, that it does not result in an injury to you or to anyone else. And if at all possible, you do not want to damage any property. But property can be replaced. This idea is so important, that I will repeat it. Property can be replaced. The most important thing is that no one gets hurt when the accident happens. This is the purpose of personal protective equipment, which is often called PPE. Personal protective equipment or PPE is designed to protect the person from injury when the accident happens. Examples of PPE are gloves, helmets, eye protection, respirators, hearing protection, seatbelts, and flame retardant clothing, just to name a few. The hazards that are associated with these pieces of personal protective equipment will be covered in other physics lessons. Keeping you safe and not injured from known hazards is on the list of good things. When the accident happens, you want to be able to say, "Wow, I could have gotten hurt." It's just that simple. By now, you should be able to answer the following questions. What is the name of the thing that causes all accidents? What is the first E of safety? What is an example of the first E of safety that was not in the video? What is the second E of safety? What is an example of the second E of safety that was not in the video? What is the third E of safety? What is an example of the third E of safety that was not in the video? What is the fourth E of safety? What is an example of the fourth E of safety that was not in the video? What is the most important thing when an accident happens? What is PPE? What is PPE designed to do? What is a piece of PPE that you use? Don't forget to look for the lab manual below.